Welcome back, Numismatic Stackers, and I'm at a special place, a brand new coin appraisal place, and look at these coins that we have right here. We got some gold. We got a what is this, $2.50 gold Liberty? That's
1851.
Beautiful. Littleton coins. A 1921 Mercury dime. This is a half cent. That's pretty beautiful. What type is this? Cat bust. Very nice. Oh, look at that $50. That's a great one. So I'm here at Simon Quigg's coin appraisal shop.
Yeah, so my name is Van Quigg Coins and Bullion, and I'm here today with Numismatic Stacker to kind of review some coins that I have available through my store, my website as well, and we're just going to review the coins I have, as well as just do kind of a end of the year wrap up for the state of the market and what we think is going to happen going forward into 2025.
Simon's going to talk about some really interesting things. He's got some other numismatics. We're going to be talking about the silver market, the coin market, where we believe it's going to be in 2025. So let's start with the first coin on the left here.
So this was a kind of a recent pickup for me. It is a 1851 $2.50 Liberty.
That's beautiful.
And you know, I really like it because it's a nice kind of original looking AU, as well as you know, it's a little bit tougher date, pretty low mintage, and you know, the price was right, obviously, for me.
Right on. You get all these from customers? Or?
Some customers, some from the shows, and then I also drive around when I have free time out of the office and away from my normal day job. I'll go to shops and kind of check in on their inventory, but you know, we'll get some stuff coming in from customers, like you said, Numismatic Stacker, and We'll go on to the next coin here. We have a nice 1921 10-cent VF20, and I like to sell coins that I like to buy. So I really like CAC approved coins. You know, that tells me that the coin is, you know, about as nice as it gets in that grade, and you know, it's good to buy good quality coins if you're going to be selective about what you're buying.
Absolutely. Yeah, and then copper is a totally different monster in itself. I've actually graded coins and they came back questionable color, but once you start understanding the color of copper, you start to get a better percentage, I guess.
Yeah,
that's a great looking
I mean,
piece.
this one and a few other ones I got lined up here for later. I bought in one collection, and you know, sometimes it's tough to pay what people are asking, but you know, for things like this with old colonial copper type coins, it is important to know that even if the pricing says one thing, it's way more likely that there are a lot more coins that are out there, but they have problems. So I'm always happy to pick up nice copper coins, especially you know, 1800s, large cents, half cents, 2 cents, problem free, just because you know, they're hard to replace and people are always wanting them in high demand.
I wanted to also note, when it comes to like colonial coins versus raw versus slab, I'd recommend just going to get a coin that already is graded, because I could tell you 90% of them that are in raw 2x2 flips have been cleaned at one time. So I mean, I've been burned on a $50, and that's a nice looking specimen right there.
Yes, it is. It's always nice to get. It's a little dark for my taste, but it's got really attractive luster, and you know, it's always nice to get kind of this mid 1800s, early 1800s type coins. You know, people are always kind of looking for things that are always pretty attractive.
Awesome. Well, we're going to talk about what we feel like is going to be happening to the silver market in 2025. As you know, after we've had President-elect Trump, the market has consolidated considerably and Bitcoin went way up. Do we feel like the pattern for silver in first quarter 2025 is going to continue to consolidate? What are your thoughts on that?
All right, well, that's a good question, Brian. So I personally think that as you know, people feel the economy is going to be more stable, I think people are going to be moving their money from you know, kind of physical assets into more things that have opportunities for growth. So I mean, we saw it immediately into Bitcoin, and I think we'll probably see a big swing back into the stock market as you know, come end of January through quarter 1 and 2. I mean, I think silver, we've already seen, you know, a bottom.
It's gone down like $6.50 almost.
Yep. I mean, that's been in the last 6 months or so, but even just in the last week, it's been about $1, it seems.
Right.
You know, talking about that. And, you know, I think that we'll continue to maybe see it trickle down a little bit going through the middle of the year and kind of as people feel things out, right?
Some people say that silver is still undervalued. Some people may say that it's overvalued. In my opinion, like my goal is like thinking if silver got to like 25, I'd probably start opening up my wallet and buying some more. And that's the thing. The premiums are starting to dissolve everywhere,
Absolutely,
online
yeah.
or anything. And that's a telltale sign that numbers are pointing in a downward direction just for silver.
And, you know, that's a really good point, Brian, because, you know, for people that have been doing this a long time, either collecting both coins and bullion, you know, you probably guys remember back pre-COVID where, you know, gold and silver were trading pretty close to spot. And, you know, if it's trading close to spot, that means if you sell to a dealer, they're going to be wanting to pay back from spot to make their margin, right?
Absolutely.
And that's actually what we're seeing. You know, I work closely with people that come into the office, and, you know, I'm very transparent. I say, hey, you know, here's the price at which I would sell it for. You know, it's about spot, and, you know, I'd be looking at a price back from that just to be able to make my margin. And, you know, it's also difficult thinking, you know, just because I have it doesn't mean it's going to sell right away, right, Brian?
Exactly.
You know, you might have something.
I got a couple favorite customers that really love that sweet deal on silver. When you have that, you drop it 50 cents, then they buy. It's insane.
Absolutely. And it's all mental, right? You know, and in the grand scheme of things, it's probably not going to matter very much. But, you know, I think going on to your next.
Well, you've helped me with this, and I pretty much know the answer. So basically, if you're a coin dealer and we're in a market where it's getting soft like it is, what are some good tips that you like to do? Like, say somebody says, I got 100 ounces of silver. What would you do with
Absolutely.
that?
Well, I mean, if someone, I'd ask them what they're trying to do. You know, are they trying to sell it? Do they want to do a, you know, are they trying to have me sell it for them to the public? Or do they just want to get into something else, right? So I'd make the recommendation to say, hey, you know, do you want to get into gold? You know, and it's really all broken down to which, you know, where you're at in your stage. If you have 100 ounces of silver and that's all you have, you know, I would probably say don't sell it if you don't need to.
I wouldn't sell all of it, absolutely. Just take some of it.
Right.
If you need to.
And, you know, it depends on how liquid it is. So are you talking, you know, are they in 1 ounce rounds? Do you have 10 ounce bars? Is it 100 ounce bar? You know, if you've been doing this for 25, 30 years and you have, you know, 50 to 100 ounce bars, you know, it's not going to be a big issue for you. But then, you know, I know Brian's talked about this probably. That takes up a lot of space, man.
It does. And, you know, what was the other thing I was going to say? Some silver stackers, well, there's a certain percentage of them will say, silver is silver, I'll buy it. Doesn't matter if it's a silver fork, a Kennedy $50 or such. But here's reality, like literally, if I had Kennedy $50 selling for melt versus I have a beautiful bullion round for melt, which one's going to sell?
Absolutely.
Literally the bullion round. And that's why the direction that I went with you. I liquidated a lot of 90% silver Kennedy $50, and I got gold with it.
Right.
And right now with the market, what gold go down like, or silver went down like about 20%. Don't
yeah, it was
$2
or $3 at least. Yeah.
Gold would that drop like?
It was about 100 bucks maybe.
3%?
Yeah.
That's great. It's like gold's really holding its value during this economic downturn. So what do you think like in second quarter? Usually coin sales are much better in the spring, and I don't know. It could happen in the numismatic market. It could also happen with silver. Silver could maybe stabilize at around, I don't know. Do I even want to say it? 25? It could possibly.
Yeah, I would say I would say that's not absurd. I mean, it's 29 right now, roughly. You know, that's $4 is not a crazy amount, but talking about. You know, where it's going, and you know, to your point, Brian, that, you know, it all depends on liquidity and your tolerance for loss. It really just depends on that.
When it comes to buying silver, you guys all know that I prefer Morgan silver dollars. I think it's a fantastic investment, in my opinion. I would buy a call Morgan dollar versus a bullion round more often. And now we're going to move on to like gold market. So, I mean, a lot of people ask me, hey, do you got any gold for sale? I chose to like keep it because I just feel like some things are going to happen with gold. I'm very excited to hold it. What do you think is going to happen with gold, and what kind of gold do you like to either keep for yourself or to sell?
Yeah, so I mean, the kind of gold, we'll start with your first question there. So
Yeah.
what do we think the first 6 months of the year? I think gold is probably going to level out maybe around $2,500. I don't think we're going to see a big downturn on that. But a really good point for Brian that he asked is, what kind of gold am I buying, if I'm buying any gold? What I like to do is when something comes in, if it's something that I want to hold on to, I will sell everything else and take my profits as gold right here.
Pre-33, that's my
absolutely.
favorite.
Pre-33 is great. I also like to stack smaller. I have a preference for Mexican gold, both 2, 2.5, 5 peso gold. It was really low premium before COVID, and now it's kind of, with the price of gold, crept up quite a bit.
I've always had really good luck selling Mexican coins, silver or gold. It's always been pretty good at coin shows.
Right. And, for me, normally, I don't go into a shop and, I see a gold round, a 10th ounce for, $275. That's a decent price for somebody, but I'm not going to say, I want to hold on to that for myself because, me personally, that's an asset where someone can come into the office and say, hey, I want that. I'll pay you.
People are more willing to open their wallet for a 10th ounce versus
Absolutely.
a 1 ounce. Obviously, yes. Well, if we feel like the market for silver will consolidate a little bit more, how do you think that's going to affect the numismatic market for 2025? I'm feeling possibly the values may drop. It might hurt for a little bit, but I think this may increase buying.
Yeah, so that's a really good question, Brian. And I'm just going to kind of dive into this and just think about it from a dealer's standpoint. I think that we're seeing a complete collapse of, prices from just like a standard Morgan dollar. You're not going to be able to receive, a premium over even gray sheet price anymore these days, even to the public. And, with that is, I think you're going to see a lot of consolidation from coins that are considered more common. Those prices are going to come down quite a bit. And then you're going to see people putting money into what I would consider higher quality items. The excitement from being a kind of at the ground level pre-COVID, everyone's looking for like the next thing to do, where to put their money. And, those collectors are selling their coins and dumping them on the market. The prices are going to go down. And the serious collectors are going to be putting their money into high quality coins going forward. That's kind of my prediction.
Are you seeing on the gray sheet that the gray sheet values are dropping, or are they kind of stable?
Well, so I honestly, Brian, I don't use the gray sheet anymore as a price guide because the prices are often so far off from the sold comps. So. You might
I started to notice that.
You might see Morgan dollars, just sticking with the common theme. Let's say a common date Morgan dollar is, between 65 and $80, gray sheet. But you'll see sold comps on eBay, through great collections, things like that. They sell all day at like $60, right?
Dang. I see my friend Pirate Stacker, big shout out to you, my friend. He bought a bunch of Morgan dollars at $24 a piece at Oviedo Rare Coins.
That's a good deal.
Moly. Yeah, I wish I could get coins like that, but it's about regional markets. It's different in every state,
right?
Even different counties, I sell different. When I first started selling coins, it was so easy and I didn't know what I was doing. I mean, I'm still learning now. I'm on my training wheels, but I'm a lot better than I was. And there I've gone to online sales. But before we move to online sales, let's talk about where you think like the market for toned coins like this.
Yeah,
that's something that I'm a little iffy about.
Yeah, so I mean, tone coins is, that really boils down to what the collector and what you as a dealer are willing to pay. Is this is a good example, Brian. Something like this is impossible to price. I mean, you can look,
Right.
you can look at the date, you can look at the grade, and you can look at the sticker, and you can say, I mean, without even looking at the coin, you can say, this is what I would pay, right? And going from there, that makes it impossible with the toning. I mean, for me, if it's a coin that I like and I don't mind holding on to, I don't mind paying up for it. But if it's something I'm not super keen on, if it's a,
Attractive toning.
Absolutely.
And Northern Lights is basically a step up from this, a big step up. It's just immense colors, a burst of colors, and those are like what, $2,000, $3,000 bucks on some of them.
But I mean, even then, it's Brian, you could ask $1,000, and you could have this coin for 10 years, and someone will probably pay you $10,000 between 2025 and 2035. But the thought is what's your tolerance? You know what you paid, and are you okay holding on to it for that price? Right. I mean, for me, I would say this is what there's blast white coins are selling for, and that's what I can offer you. And then the toning is just gravy on top of that. And that makes it tough if someone paid really high pricing for the toning, or they just got it from grandpa, or it was their dad's collection or whatever. But
I actually did a trade, a coin that I bought from you at Great Sheet.
Yes.
I traded that for this
I remember
plus
that.
a Lincoln cent, which is beautifully toned
Yeah.
as well.
So I mean there's nothing wrong with that, because that helps you kind of mitigate your risk and go from there, right?
Right on. So I've just started selling online to Numismatic.com, and it's kind of in its infancy. They're still making updates and stuff here and there. It's free, and I only got about 15 coins on there. But we're kind of questioning some other logistics about that. If you want to explain.
Yeah, very very similar to you, Brian. I talked. It was Ethan.
Yeah, Ethan.
Yeah. So I talked with Ethan on the phone, and I was really candid with him, and he said, it's in the infancy. We're doing a soft launch, and very similar to you, Brian. I put probably between 15 and 20 coins on there.
Yeah.
And I've had minimal interest. A few people did offers, and my main interest is just having another platform where I can put my coins on, right? But I want it to be easy. I don't want to have to micromanage, but it's an audience. And, if Ethan's platform brings that to the table, I'm happy to take some time and effort and put my coins on there. But I want to be able to see some kind of return, right?
I sold one coin on Numismatic.com. It was from another dealer. But the money is held for about 8 days, which I wish I could just get it right away. I already had the coin already shipped out, but I got the money in my bank account, so it's still pretty fun. And I don't have to pay taxes because I sold to another dealer.
Right, absolutely.
But, yeah, obviously I got to keep track of that if it comes from a customer. What about your pros and cons on eBay?
Definitely, yes. So, I mean, I am kind of a unique eBay seller where I will literally only sell things that I've either had for a very long time and or is very low value. So things like that, I'm selling rolls of wheat cents, I'm selling rolls of buffalo nickels, I'm doing 99-cent auctions on that kinds of stuff. So, a good success for me is I've been able to pick key dates from the Canada series. So pennies, nickels, dimes, etc. I'm picking up key dates there for either melt or, a penny or a nickel. And then I'm getting $5, $10, $15 a coin on there. It's very low risk to me as a seller, because if someone tries to scam me on there, I'm out nothing, basically.
Have you ever thought about selling copper at all? My buddy, again, Pirate Shacker, does a lot of copper, and he was telling us that Avito Rare Coins was buying copper rounds for $1 a piece, and they're out the door at $2.50.
Yeah.
That's a 250%
over their
increase.
over the cost.
Great profit.
I mean, that the margin on that is great, but I mean, it's not just margin where I look at something. A good example is, I'm buying, proof Ike dollars. I'm buying silver Ike dollars, and guys, stay tuned. Courtesy of Van Quigg Coins and Bullion, that's me. We're going to be doing a giveaway for you guys on my channel. From you guys, just come over, like, comment, and subscribe on my most recent video, and I will include this. I will do 2 drawings on those videos specifically, but you must say that you're from Numismatic
you're from
Stacker.
Numismatic Stacker on his channel, and you'll be entered in to win this beautiful Ike dollar. That's awesome. Beautiful proof 69 deep cam.
So, but going back there is, I might, with a silver Ike dollar, I might pay $7 or $8, but, and I'm only making $1, right? So you have to make $100 on a coin, like, this 1881 CC, it's a far easier to make $100 or $200 on one coin than to sell.
It's a desirable hold.
Absolutely. And, I'd much rather sell one of these, far slower than sell, 100 Ike dollars to the wholesaler, right?
And I've had my eye on this one for a while. This is a kind of really cool 1878 Carson City. I think, what did you say this was? VAM 6?
Yep.
Look at the mint mark on this, guys. Look at how skewed that is. That's crazy.
Yeah. And, it's just kind of an interesting piece. And
it's very interesting.
I know we've been talking about it, Brian. I'm sure we'll figure something out.
Yeah. But maybe the coin sales will get a little better at coin shows, and that's like one of my subjects here is about, because me and Simon, we basically are neighbors. He sits behind me, and we talk all the time about stuff, and he gives me great advice about coin sales and what to buy, gray sheet, blah, blah, blah. All this really fun stuff. And so we go to Roseville all the time.
Absolutely.
And I want to keep my table, even if I know January probably isn't going to be the greatest, but I don't want to lose my spot.
Right.
Because spring is the big time where we make some bank. And it's just a hobby for myself.
Yeah. And I mean, that's a good question, Brian. And, for sales, I mean, we live here in, Minnesota. It's cold and dark. We get 8 hours of sunlight, basically half the year. And coin collecting is 100% an indoor hobby. So, during the spring and the fall and the winter, sales are typically up compared to the summer. I think we had, honestly, I think the last couple of shows were flukes just with the election. People were uncertain. People were uncertain with the market. Is silver going to go up or down or stay the same? But with that, it's like, I think we'll probably see good sales in the next 3 to 6 months. And, as things kind of level out, we'll see how things shake out as well.
Sounds like great news. And when I talk about regional markets, because I go to St. Cloud as well, sometimes I did so good at that show. It was so hot.
Right.
I don't even want to say the number, but it was amazing. It was like a month's income in one day.
Right.
And sometimes I go to that show and it's like a couple $100, and it's like,
Absolutely.
What? But then, sometimes you go to Roseville and it's really slow, and sometimes, wow, you just had a all-time high. Doesn't happen too often. And it's those big shows, the Earl Brown show.
Mm-hmm.
What's with the hype with this show? The last year was the lowest for myself.
Right.
Doesn't necessarily mean, hey, I don't know what I'm doing half the time, but, I have nice stuff. And sometimes it's just not enough. I keep lowering my prices. I try to move things around the market, and I just go with it. Sometimes a dealer will save my show.
Absolutely. And a lot of times, I'm with you, Brian. Doing dealer to deal sales is what makes the show. You've had old inventory that you're ready to get rid of, or you have a key date coin where they have a customer where they might only be making $25 to $50 on a $900 or $1,000 coin, but it's guaranteed income for them, right?
Absolutely.
And for me as a dealer setting up, I might have a bad show selling, but I always make sure that I bring enough cash with me I bring things that I want to trade.
But you're good at diversifying.
Absolutely, yeah. But the thing is, for me, is I might have a bad show selling, but I might have an awesome show buying. But that doesn't equate to a bad show to me just because I didn't bring in X amount of cash, right? I might end with the same amount of cash, but I sold a bunch of things and I also bought a bunch of new stock, right? I mean, that is always a positive for me if I'm keeping the inventory fresh, and that keeps people coming back, right?
In my opinion, like these numismatics, they're like on discount. Kind of like when silver's going down, they say buy in the dips. Well, we're kind of in the dips for numismatics. I've been buying some at gray sheet or even a little bit below gray sheet, maybe even $3 over gray sheet, which is great for me. I'm just kind of hoping, and I know the market will come back, but who knows when, where the buying will be much stronger.
Absolutely.
We're going to do like a little wrap-up conclusion here. So he's got some raw coins here we're going to talk about. We got some from the colonial times, Massachusetts here, I see.
Got a Connecticut copper, and
Yes,
we got a couple of key dates here for a couple different series.
Let's talk about this one here. That is beautiful.
Yeah, and again, talking about just being a dealer and knowing where things are. I had purchased a group of colonial coins for what I would say a pretty low price per coin. It was like 30 or 40 coins, and they're really slow movers, but the margin on them is just very great. They're high. So going back to your question, Brian, about eBay, that would be a good option for eBay. Just a low number, say $25, and maybe I'll get the 400 or I might get 200, but it's not the end of the world.
I see a lot of this on Facebook. People have a raw 1914. You got to understand there's 5 different die pairs on this, and you can see how the D is kind of really close to the jacket there. That's one of the die pairs. And you want to pay attention to the spacing, because sometimes they'll remove that 4 or remove a 4 from a 1944 and just leave that one part, makes it look like a 1.
Right. And one thing you should be careful about it. This came in. I did not pay for this coin, but this was
trade?
It came in bulk. It came in a bag. But you can show this one off, Brian.
Oh yeah.
So you can use a loop if you want.
One. Oh, we can zoom in enough, I think.
Yep.
You can see this used to be a 1954.
Yeah. So someone altered the date on there, and if someone was less honest, they might try to pass that off to someone that needed it. But
see, now pay attention to the mint mark here. See the difference in the D is a little different.
Absolutely.
From 30 years different down the road, different font right there. Look at that. See how the D on the 1954 is bigger? It's actually a different font altogether. But that one, I mean, geez, that's terrible.
Yeah. Someone just scratched it off.
Even a newbie would know that something's up with that.
But again, watch for that kind of stuff on eBay.
Absolutely.
We got 14D, which is a semi-key date of the series, and then we have a gorgeous, kind of a nice VG 1877 Indian head cent.
Ooh, let's see that.
So that'll be available in my store, or you could give me a call.
Oh yeah, that's definitely better than AG3 like I got. That's nice. Now notice you got to make sure you got the weak end in the word 1. Was it only one die pair for this?
I believe so.
Yeah. Beautiful. Yeah, because if I'm collecting Indians, I like to collect the key dates if I can.
And everyone kind of, Brian knows this. Everyone, the shows that we go to has the kind of the same stuff. Everyone has wheat cents. Everyone has, and they flip them up. And for me, it's I want to be focusing on this kind of stuff because if you want to buy bulk wheat cents from me, I'll sell you a bag. I'll sell you rolls. But what really people need is the key dates of the series, right?
Right on. This is an 1891 Carson City.
Yep.
So you got the spitting eagle there. No spitting eagle. Yeah, actually, I had one in my album, dude. Funny story. I had it in there for 2 years. It was in nice shape. It's probably an AU50. And I just noticed right before I sent it into ANX that it's a spitting eagle.
Yeah.
So that's
crazy.
Interesting.
Yeah. And then obviously we have our 78, our 81, our 91, and our 90 Carson Cities. I mean, the 82s, 83s, 84s kind of very common, but they're very popular. People are always looking for those. They're the most affordable of the Carson City series. But these are, you know, always in high demand. People are always looking for that kind of thing.
They're always looking for the 93S as well.
Absolutely,
They don't
yeah.
want to pay $3,000 or $4,000
No, but
for
you're
them,
going to have to
so.
shell. One day you're going to have to shell out for it.
Yeah. Trying to get it for gray sheets is almost
Yep.
impossible. It's the monster.
Yeah, it is.
So,
But
what else did I have? I have, well, the 1885 Carson City is 228,000 made. Most of them are mint condition because they were stored in
Yep.
a vault for
They
a
saved
long
them,
time.
yeah.
And it's actually harder to get them worn.
Get them circulated.
Like that.
Yeah.
Exactly. I got one. At least I still have one example of each Carson City still.
Yeah. So let's, should we wrap this up, Brian? And just a reminder, you know,
Yes.
if you're from Numismatic Stackers, Brian's channel, you know, come over to my channel,
Yes.
subscribe, say you're from Numismatic Stacker, like, comment, subscribe. On my most recent video, I posted a video, what was it, this 1 or 2 days ago.
Yes.
Unboxing some stuff from a
That was
purchase that I
awesome.
made. Yeah. So like, comment, subscribe, and say you're from Numismatic Stacker, and I will do an extra drawing for you guys on that, courtesy of me.
You guys hear that? Sounds
All right.
awesome. Well, thank you,
Thanks,
Beard
Brian.
of Knowledge, Simon.
Yeah.
It's been
We'll
a
be
pleasure.
doing a lot more videos soon.
Absolutely. Let's do one as regularly as possible.
Yep.
Please like this channel if you haven't, and subscribe if you haven't.
All right.
And check out some of my videos on the right side of your screen.
Thanks. Bye-bye.